Good Sunday morning and welcome back to us at 7:30. I'm Maddie Kurth. This weekend we have some really beautiful weather after all of last week's rain, and we're going to be warming up into this next work week. But of course we are full steam ahead here on this hurricane season. So let's get you over to meteorologist Hannah Gard for a check of what we're going to be looking at over the next couple months. Hannah.
I know it's the first official day of hurricane season in the Atlantic. Today, June 1st, marks the start of it. As we head throughout June and July, we'll start to see some tropical activity ramping up, but it doesn't really peak until the middle of August, all the way through the middle of October. So we have a long ways to go. What you can do now is just start to prepare. Make sure that you're running through those plans, your preparedness plans, and then getting all those supplies together, especially through this week, because we don't have much to watch on our side. We are seeing some Eastern Pacific activity. We have Alvin, now post-tropical. It was their first named storm over there to our west. We are also seeing this blob. We have a medium chance of tropical development there over the next 7 days. But the good news when we have activity going on the Eastern Pacific side is it's really hard to get tropical activity on our side in the Gulf and the Caribbean because you get wind shear and just less favorable environmental conditions. So no development expected in the next 7 days for our first full week of hurricane season. This is what we like to see. Hopefully we keep that around. One of the main reasons, other than that tropical activity over in the Eastern Pacific, is some Saharan dust. We've had that sitting in the southern Gulf. We have another huge plume that's heading into the Caribbean. That plume of dust is going to get into the northern Gulf by the end of the week. This is going to be something that maybe allergy sufferers, asthma sufferers, this is going to make things a little bit unpleasant in the later half of the week. And in this first half, we have some wildfire smoke to deal with from Canada. So there's going to be a lot going on in the skies through the extended forecast. Once we get to the middle of June, we have a little period where we're seeing some lighter dust coming through, but we do have to watch for potential development right around Central America. This is a climatological pattern that happens almost every year in the tropics. We get something called the Central American gyre, which is broad low pressure over Central America because of the easterly winds coming in from the Caribbean, and then the westerly winds on the Eastern Pacific side causes low pressure. Sometimes you get little pieces of low pressure that'll spin off that, and that can be potential tropical development. We see that phenomenon firing up into the middle of June. That's why this area in the southern Gulf and the northern Caribbean is highlighted for a very low chance, less than 20% chance of potential tropical development through the middle parts of June. So we'll watch that, but you can tell it's more likely on the Eastern Pacific side, which means less likely on our side because, again, it's hard for us to see anything if they're seeing activity. But this is where we watch for in June because of the Central American gyre, homegrown tropical activity. So obviously we will keep a close eye on that, but it's good news to see it mainly developing on that Eastern Pacific side, and there's nothing right now to watch for. That is very much in the long range. Today also marks the first day of meteorological summer, starts on June 1st. Typically, we'll start getting into those low 90s very quickly through June. 92, our hottest time of the year in August, but we don't see a lot of temperature variation in the summertime, just a couple degrees. And we'll kind of see that climb throughout this week. We go from 88 today to those mid-90s and back up to 92 for Friday and Saturday. The good news today is it feels really, really good out there still with those low dew points in the low to mid-60s, just feeling a little bit humid. We're not back to those really muggy conditions yet. Very hazy out there, you can see from the lakefront camera, but because of those lower dew points, it does feel nice. We're in the mid-60s in Slidell at 64, 72 at New Orleans International, a couple degrees cooler than even yesterday. So a great feel for your Sunday. We'll get to the upper 80s with feels like temperatures in the low 90s, just a couple degrees higher than our actual temperature. We could see a scattered shower or two once we get to this afternoon. I don't see high coverage on that. And then similar conditions for your Monday as a warm front pulls through, just 20%. Then we get to 90 Tuesday. I don't see a lot of moisture there. The later half of the week looks like our best chance to start to see some storms popping up in the forecast again, especially at the early parts of next weekend. So we'll obviously keep a close eye on that. But I don't see any huge severe weather threat or flood threat, Maddie. I think a lot of that will be afternoon showers and storms later this week.
That's good. The only threat we have to face now is being spooked by lightning has been detected in your area.
Yes.
All of my weather app people know what I'm talking about, that
Yes.
push notification alert. Tell us about this one, because this is important for the summertime.
Yeah, you need that all summer because these are little pop-up showers. They might not pop up over you, they might pop up near you. You got to watch closely. If you download the Fox 8 weather app, it tracks your location. It'll show you how far away that lightning is. So that's always good to have. Today, that's the main threat with anything that we see pop up. A lot of it's just going to be little showers, but you could get a downpour with a strike of lightning or two, so just keep that in mind.
And Bruce Katz's voice himself will let you know that there's
Yes,
lightning nearby.
lightning detected nearby.
It's a great tool, though.
Yep.
Alrighty, thank you, Hannah. Well, LSU